So anyway, let's just start getting on trucking because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
And so, what is your opinion? Should we go in broadcast order or alphabetical order?
Let's just go alphabetical because that's easiest to keep track of.
Yeah, because I mean, I could remember the broadcast, but like how we watched it, but I'd prefer to go alphabetical.
Let's just go alphabetical.
Yeah, let's just go alphabetical. I'm opening up our handy My Anime list, and we're going through this, and we're gonna go from. Oh man, that's a terrible one to end off on. That's gonna be fun. So, the first anime that's on this list, drum roll please.
No, I don't want to spike your mic anywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty spiked already.
The first anime is My Hero Academia.
Hey.
Boku no Hero.
Boku no Pico.
Boku no
Hero.
Hero.
Interested.
Boku no Hero Academia. This is an anime that, of course, we talked about like, on a weekly basis already on
Andrew
the manga.
and I have been talking about the manga for weeks now, so it's fun to finally see it adapted.
Yeah. So okay, let's get trucking on this. So
I think Bones is doing a good job.
Yeah. So just
first off, this is
Bones
is adapting this. It's a manga published in Shonen Jump.
My Hero Academia is about a kid. It's just about a bunch of heroes, and the best way to explain it is it's just Sky High, but in Japan.
Yeah, Sky High in Japan with pretty much everybody has powers.
So everyone's a mutant.
Yeah,
80% of the world.
It's
has
Sky
powers.
High in Japan with the reverse ratio of X-Men. There you go. I got
mutants to humans.
I got both of your descriptors right there.
Yeah. Hero's like an occupation now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really like I'm glad that they knew that like the way people prefer it to have it translated instead of like power is quirk.
Yeah, it's quirk.
Because I think it makes a lot of sense within this. Like that's one thing I was worried about coming into this.
Is how they're gonna sub it.
I thought they were gonna sub it as like maybe power or something, and I really like the choice of the word quirk because a lot of the times it's not really a power.
It's just
that's what it is. It's a quirk.
You can remove your eyeballs. What?
It's like you can't call that a power. It's superpower. It's a quirk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy about that.
And some people are, like, born with different shapes and stuff. Like, it's not necessarily, like... It's weird how many of them are basically superpowers, though, if you're going by people being mutants. 'Cause
those guys got lucky.
A lot of them have way too much utility, like, that I've seen just normal people have.
I mean, okay, that's not entire... I don't know.
There was the little guy with the stupid, like, what's it called? The bone stars on his head.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is, most of the time in the show, later, you're seeing students from...
the actual, the top high school.
Yeah, from the top high school for heroes. So, obviously, they're going to have powers somewhat oriented towards fighting and heroes.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to know more, we discuss it on a weekly basis, so it's not...
Yeah,
it's not out of the realm.
Manga.
Yeah, if not, we actually have a video of us talking about the manga series.
Yeah.
The first episodes...
so we watched the first 2 episodes because of just the way that we cycled around this. So the first 2, we watched the first 2 episodes, which basically adapt the first chapter of the manga.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, both episodes are out. What's there to say about them?
I mean, they did a good adaptation with it. Like,
I think so. I really like the sort of cartoony art style that they're doing. Like, it's very much comic book style, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Like, a lot of the little, like, gags and animation sequences they do are decently, like, repetitive looking and a little over the top, but that's exactly what I wanted from it. So
I think the sound design...
fits the art style.
The sound design is amazing. Like, one of the
best
sound...
All Might's theme?
No, everything about the sound design in this show. Like, rewatching that first episode the other night where I was, I was just listening to the music, and the way that they did transitions to the music was so good and so spot on. I was really surprised at how well, like, just adding in music alone changed the whole entire feel of the entire, like, of those, like, that first chapter for me.
Yeah, honestly, I enjoyed these first 2 episodes watching it a lot more than I enjoyed reading it in the first 2 chapters, and I've reread that first section before too, and when I reread it, I was like, this really isn't that great.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff I'm excited for comes later, but watching these adapted, I like them more than I did when I read it.
Yeah, exactly. Connor, do you have anything to say?
I never heard you, like, straight up ask me if I had something to say before. So, I feel like the story actually gets a little bit changed in My Hero. So the first 2 episodes, or it's just the way it's directed is a little bit different.
Yeah.
They fuse together some parts, which you've mentioned before. But what's more prevalent is the fact that like a lot of the scenes were a lot more emotional than you would probably see in the manga. Like they kind of stretch them out a lot more. They add a lot more effect and like emphasis on them. And I'd say it works a lot better for me personally in the second half. Although the first half was pretty funny with him as a kid in front of the computer screen, which you saw a lot. The second half, when it finally builds up to like him asking the question, getting like his hopes basically kind of shot down,
and then
coming back, and like it all turns around. Like it's just the emotion that's been building up the whole time. They do a really good job portraying that and like spacing it out properly to like actually kind of build up the emotional.
And don't forget, they're actually childhood friends.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Really? Anyways, that's an inside joke and it'll stay that way. I also felt like they kind of changed around All Might quite a bit. In the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, when I was reading the manga, the way I saw him was more like a Jiraiya kind of character. Like it just, he's overpowered and he just so happens to be like with you. So like you have this really strong guy, and it almost seemed like Deku, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deku is kind of key to the easy life in a way. Like it was his kind of in, but in this one, All Might definitely seems to be more of like you can actually feel his motivation.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't really feel it in the beginning of the manga.
Well, you kind of get.
I feel like it was there in the manga just because this was.
It was
put on screen and directed the way it was. It
added more. Yeah. And this is one of those times where I'm glad that Bones has a hand on this, just because it's like the way that they usually direct like adaptions and that is fantastic. Putting like panel to screen and actually being able to direct the exact.
I mean, Bones isn't known for doing super consistent adaptations.
Well, Fullmetal Alchemist, they did the original Fullmetal Alchemist is not one of them saying, but Brotherhood, they did a really good adaptation with that, according to what I've heard. Where mostly you don't have to go back to that manga because it literally adapts it like almost into its entirety. I mean, they've done other adaptations
what
that.
has Bones done more recently? I can't think of anything.
They're
both that and Soul Eater, which we'd use as examples, are pretty.
Yeah,
old.
they're doing 3 animes right now, and that's My Hero, Kagewani Revolution, and Bunko Stray Dogs, and one's are an original and 2 are series that we have not read. This. My Heroes we've
read. Yeah, I don't know. We're probably getting off track here.
Yeah, but what I have to say is that the adaptation is doing a fine job with what it's like with just the directing, because I felt that even though I've read this before, the emotional moments still hit. Like I found myself still getting the emotion that I actually got the emotion more watching it, hearing the direction, hearing the sound design, hearing the way that the people talk, and I actually felt it more than reading the manga, which is a very weird oddity from normal times from manga to anime. Usually,
me in particular, and you too, it seems like prefer manga to anime adaptations.
Not actually true for me.
No?
I can't say what it's about, though.
But yes, basically, I was really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, the Berserk is
Oh yeah, Connor loves the Berserk adaptation.
It's the best.
Make me cry.
We are
so much.
It's his favorite adaptation. The movie's just put in every detail. It took out everything that was great about the manga, and he just loves it.
Yeah. Quick note: Connor's not allowed to talk about Berserk this podcast.
Can I talk about the upcoming anime that's going to destroy everything and make us cry or cheer?
We'll get to that.
Never mind. I already said what I needed to.
Okay. I feel like we've covered
CG can be a horrible, horrible thing.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
It can also be okay.
So, moving on. But overall, we can say that this is a solid adaptation, and even coming from...
Impressed.
Yeah, really impressed.
Personally.
And even the 2 people that came from an anime-only perspective both enjoyed the show.
We showed it to.
Yeah, both enjoyed the show, and actually, is really interested
also,
in what's going to go on.
Acquaintance is the worst pun I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
I mean, I didn't really like the ass.
She could have said, pleased to make your assistance, or I'm making my day butt. Like, seriously, how hard is this shit?
Yeah. I mean, I personally would have just left out the pun entirely.
Oh, I would have left out the character.
then one person we would know would not have a favorite character already.
And then they couldn't make any more Ding and Ropa freaking references.
Moving on to the other anime that Bones is animating, which is really funny. It's like literally B and then B, so it's Bunko Stray Dogs.
I actually watched this one this morning.
Yeah, so you actually could talk about this as well. So this is an anime that the PVs are actually looked pretty solid from coming into it. And so this is one of the few animes that I put up on the I'm actually excited to see what is going to be on here. And the best way to explain it is it's honest in a way. I would have to say, for me feeling it, I guess I have to watch more. I definitely have to watch more to understand, like, because I feel the first episode didn't give me the general gist of what I needed to see.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're going to entirely change up the plot from this point onwards. Like, it introduced itself with the main character, like, super minute story and mystery, and it was really just an introduction for the main character and the two characters who he's going to spend a decent amount of time with.
And the thing is, like, coming from the PVs, I was expecting more of a Kekai Sensen, with that first episode being very solid, bombastic, and very exciting, and this one's a lot more subdued and actually more comedic.
Am I the only one who felt like his power was kind of lame?
Who are we talking about?
The main character.
In Stray Dogs.
No, whose power?
The main character.
The main character?
Yeah. The power to turn into a tiger.
I mean, I don't know. If he gets like a tiger claw, it's kind of cool, I guess.
It's so lame. It was like,
but I kind of
literally just a tiger.
I found myself actually, it wasn't like it was decent, and I found myself laughing a lot. So
one thing I found weird is I expected this to be a lot more serious than it was. Like and I kind of found it off-putting, to be honest. Like, there was a lot of points in there where characters, like, from how well a lot of the frames were animated, certain, like, I mean, it was all well animated through. Like, that's one thing I was impressed on. It looked great.
Oh, yeah.
But, and I really liked the character designs and stuff, but
it was a little...
They did like the reaction faces a lot. Like, different sorts of reaction faces. And they always felt like they kind of fit, and it was always very still.
Yeah, I'm just adding to and it was very comedic, yes.
It wasn't quite what I was expecting.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't know, it put me off a little bit. It felt awkward. I'm having trouble, like, fully explaining what it was I didn't like, but it was the use of, like, the reaction faces.
Personally...
all the time. They were using them like constantly.
And Bunko Stray Dogs, for context's sake, is an anime about kind of like this league of... What I read from the description is like a league of an extraordinary gentlemen, where like they all come and have powers and just kind of solve supernatural things.
Basically, it's a detective agency where all the members have superpowers, and sometimes the police can't handle supernatural related stuff, so they contact this group.
And they do it.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, I know.
But
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's unfair to,
I don't know why that was the first one that came to mind. I think I liked seeing 3 of those.
Well, everything that has like a similar aesthetic to
and I feel
Kekai Sensen, we kind of
have to.
I was more feeling Dororo this, honestly.
It's Kekai Sensen cross Dororo.
It's like these are like these weird characters. Well, first of all, one of the guys totally looks like Shizuo.
And I think he's voiced by Shizuo.
Anyways, the other one was like they're kind of like these really interesting like anomaly kind of characters. Mm-hmm. It's not just their power, but their actual personality seems to be kind of
that guy wanted to kill himself a lot.
I found that a little strange.
One of the animes I kept telling you to watch actually has that.
Yeah.
Sayonara whatever Sensei.
Okay, that one's... I feel like that's different though. Is it? I don't know. I
haven't watched it yet. They're both used for comedic effect.
I really enjoy the joke where they're sitting there and he sees like the little baluster and he's like thinking of like hanging himself there, and then his coworker just goes...
I really want to know how he keeps failing at it.
I thought his power was going to be related to why he continually...
Yeah.
Like, it's for a second there, it seemed like, especially with the name of his power... Never die or something like that. I figured he was going to have, like, some strange form of immortality.
No, it's just...
And he was going to... That's, like, why he was constantly trying to kill himself. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. A lot of people have the nullification power.
There's an X-Men movie based off it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess coming from the hype, it wasn't as much as...
I banned from Index?
Did we agree on that?
kyoani, Shaft.
We could add that if
computer. No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, just also... Index is an entire series based on that.
Okay,
it's based on a lot more though.
A little bit of background information. We placed kind of a wager.
Yeah, there's a wager going on right now where we all can't talk about certain things.
Yeah,
that we
I almost tripped up like
much.
3 times on this last one.
And I did.
It's 2 things we can't talk about and 1 thing we can't do, I believe.
Yeah. So
Dawson, I'll do the thing.
No, I'm all you can't do something.
I mean, Andrew,
or say something.
Andrew can't talk about anything internet related that is not directly relevant.
Basically, he can't talk about other content creators or talk about what he's read on Threads
or anything like that. Connor can't
and
talk
he can't
about
show for stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's easy.
Connor can't talk about Berserk or One Punch.
And he can't go on his phone.
And he can't go on his phone. And
which is gonna be
you can't go on your computer, and then you're not allowed to talk about Monogatari and kyoani.
Yeah.
So, with that context and said, this series...
It'll be an interesting cast.
This series is definitely one where I want to see the actual tone next episode. I'm not entirely sure what the tone is yet, what they're going to be setting. Yeah. And I'll see it next episode. Because that's when I think everything will start, rolling.
I figure they're still going to... I don't know. The way they did the... I didn't find the... I'm having trouble putting my words together here. It was a lot more comedic based than I was expecting, and I didn't really enjoy the comedy that much anyway. So
the comedy wasn't hitting.
Yeah, I don't really feel like watching the next episode.
It's okay.
I wouldn't hate watching the next. This isn't one I don't want to watch. It's just one I wouldn't watch unless somebody showed it to me.
I'm kind of on the opposite side. I'm a little bit... I'm like, you know how you're just slightly negative of neutral? I'm slightly positive of neutral.
Okay.
Like, the comedy didn't make me laugh out loud or anything, but I do kind of feel like I enjoyed these characters, and I want to sort of see how they develop, what their interactions are and stuff. And they kind of teased a cast at us, and I'm excited to see sort of the Teen Titans vibe, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Some sort of fun. We get to see their daily life and then their hero life, and I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so, that's one where it's going to be most likely me and Connor watching Dawson. You should go back and watch this.
Probably.
So moving on, the next one on this list is this is just my personal one because the Concrete Revolution. Wow! Holy shit! All 3 Bones animes are all in a row, and that was not that was not on purpose.
Man.
Oh, Bones.
So
it's like you walk into Bone Studio and everyone has the last letters. What's it called? Z's and X's and Y's starting their names. And they were just, tired of in school, being chosen last.
Screw this.
So everything from now on we adapt has to start with, a letter at the beginning of the alphabet.
So Concrete Revolution, the 3rd anime Bones is animating this studio. Wow, Bones is solid this season. And they're going to be doing Mob Psycho next season, so going to be solid.
Wow, way to ruin what I just set up. Never mind.
Hey, M is in the middle of the alphabet.
That is true.
That's still not the end.
Yeah, you gotta find
Full Metal Alchemist, and the one that breaks your argument is Soul Eater.
No, just kidding.
Anyway, so the 3rd anime is
Concrete. Didn't do that.
Oh, they didn't?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's why it looks so bad. That's why the action scenes suck.
So Concrete Revolution.
The whole thing sucks.
But... Okay.
I love how we never even watched it. We just assume it's horrid.
I got really excited and watched the first episode and got really unexcited. And I never watched it again.
So the next one is Concrete Revolution. Chojin Genso, the last song. It's the 2nd season, I think the concluding season, or the second half of what was set up from fall season Concrete Revolution, which was one of my top picks of the season. And Concrete Revolution is coming back, and they're just coming in strong. And the first episode already was very strong in exactly setting up the tone of what this season will be, where characters just start straight up dying, they start killing people, and I'm just that is what I kind of expected and wanted from a second season. Okay. Where you come from the first season where it's kind of this, what, like, they introduced this whole conflict between two parties.
Yeah.
And then as the season goes on, you're finding out why the divide happened at the same time as you see the guy who split from them building up his forces that are basically fighting against the other side. And finding out why they split, who these people are and stuff like that. And then here it's now starting right off the bat. Exactly
just like right from where it ended.
Right, not right where it ended, but it's now starting with they're already divided. They like the superhero bureau is straight up just killing people. What are you doing?
Trying to not use his phone.
Okay. The superhero bureau is straight up just killing superheroes at this point.
Yeah.
And the other person is trying to protect them, and like basically it's just kind of showing how these characters start doing. There's still one more character that they needed to put on a side. Yeah. So this was like the final character that they finally put on which side he was on. And it was actually really cool. And then just seeing like this person break and then straight up just kill like one of the first characters in the entire show. Well, there were some deaths last season, but to start off the show with just killing a person in a brutal way possible, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm expecting from this season, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna bring to this table. Where I've heard like some people from Trigger, like some writers from Trigger, are helping out with the writing. Okay. Gen Hirabuchi is helping with the writing.
Shit?
So,
are you serious?
Yeah. Gen Hirabuchi's on the writing staff for some of the episodes.
Wow.
So I'm expecting some people to straight up die.
Oh, I just realized which anime is going to be the last one we review.
So I'm really excited. The opening and ending are very solid. The OP is very subdued. It's weird where the OP is just like, here's the characters, introduce the characters, let them breakdance and stuff like that. And the ED is like symbolism just everywhere, just like
off the walls.
It's like the 5 characters walking down the street.
Okay, but you remember the ED from last one, from the first season.
Oh, the ED was...
That was trippy as fuck.
It was.
That like sick caterpillar dude.
Yeah.
Like,
and now this one is like it's weird because the ED I feel like should have been the OP, and it would have better served as the OP. Huh. But moving on. The next one on my list is Divine Gate. I'm not kidding. Just
please no.
You didn't watch any more Divine Gate.
I know, but it's still on my watching
list.
It's gonna be forever on my watching list until we finish it.
It's an unfortunate place.
So it wasn't 20; it was 19.
No, it was. I already. It was 19 minus Divine Gate, 18 plus 2. That's not on my list. Right. 20. Next one is Flying Witch.
Hey. I was really excited for
the sound designs are okay. If there's something that I could constantly apply to like this season alone, is the sound design and the soundtracks are on point.
I can't tell if that's because it's really on point or because I just am noticing that more now.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
I personally can't tell, but I will agree with you here. The sound design in that is really good. This is exactly
with one exception. At the very beginning.
No, okay.
That was a title card, I know.
Yeah.
But it was misleading as all hell.
No, because all animes have that.
I know. But okay, so the title card looked like it was a scene, and they looped the music that they were already playing, so it seemed like
basically,
they were just
if you watch something fan subbed where the sponsor section would normally be on the show, they put an image or a GIF there and then loop the beginning a section of the opening for like a couple seconds when the sponsor would be playing, so you don't have to look at the sponsor thing.
But if you're actually watching from an official website, which we don't.
Well, I don't think is Flying Witch being.
I think we watched that off of Kiss.
Yeah, but is Flying Witch being officially broadcasted by anyone?
Actually, Crunchyroll. Never mind.
Crunchyroll's doing it?
No, because
it's not always fan subs.
I thought we did see it on Crunchyroll then.
Yeah.
Some things do it. I know High School DxD does it all the time. Like, they always have
You're right, it was on Crunchyroll.
Still better sound design than friggin' Phoenix Wright.
We'll get to that. But yeah, I really liked this manga. I mean, it's not like the greatest manga around or anything, and I don't think the show is going to be the greatest show around.
I liked it.
But I really enjoyed it, and it's really relaxing, which is exactly what I wanted from it. Just like really nice background art.
Yeah.
A really nice soundtrack, and just like solid animation.
And for the first time, Connor was interested in a slice of life.
Okay, what's that show that you and Connor watch a lot?
Non-Biori.
It's like non-Biori, but they're not out in the fucking sticks. Like, it's actually, they're in a more interesting neighborhood with shit actually happening. And then they throw in even more weird shit with a witch and
the fact that
stuff,
she's a witch.
Which I hope they do something good with, because I wasn't too impressed by it, honestly.
They don't do a major storyline with it. Like, there's no overarching plot or anything like that, but they do stuff with it. It's not like they just... It's like, oh, she's a witch. And
I feel like everyone's reactions were at least okay with it, except for the main guy who just didn't.
Oh, the main guy already knew.
I know, but he like, they keep showing everyone without caring, even though they're not supposed to, and it's like, it's weird.
Well, they never said they're not supposed to.
No, she straight up said, like, yo, I'm not supposed to tell anyone, and the girl goes, oh, I'm not getting in trouble for that, am I? And she goes, no, I don't think you will, maybe.
Huh.
Do you remember that part?
Yes, I do, even though I walked away during that moment to go print something out.
Wait, you actually do remember it?
Yeah.
No.
Wow, Dawson.
Well,
I mean, it's not like Dawson wasn't reading the subs. So.
I always read the subs. I just have bad memory. But yeah, I really liked it. I'm waiting for the next episode, and we can probably move on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, by the way, the sound was a little bit too annoying for my taste.
Oh, the screaming of the mandrake?
Oh my god.
Dude, I love the part when she's handing him the mandrake.
And it's
the mandrake's, it's got its arms like crossed at one point, and it's just like kicking back with its arm crossed. It's like, here, take this.
That thing was creepy as hell.
I loved it.
It was creepy as hell. That's why. It like looked like a cutesy show. So you're expecting like this cute little mandrake to come up, and it's just ugly as fuck.
I know, but usually it's like just ugly enough so that everyone else will freak out, and you're supposed to laugh at it.
Yeah.
But that sound makes it actually creepy.
And then the thing is like just terrifying looking.
Yeah.
So moving on from Flying Witch. Yes, moving on from Flying Witch. We have Yakugan Saiban. Oh god, this is gonna hurt. Yakugan Saiban Sono Shinjitsu Igiari.
Just say the English name.
Please, English.
It's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
You motherfucker.
God damn it.
Wait, you didn't know that's what it was called?
No, just say Phoenix Wright.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna start.
You gotta practice that beforehand if you're gonna say it.
No, shut up.
So
Alright, Andrew, then you can only
say
call the characters by their Japanese names now.
Okay, Naruhodo Chiatsu Mayoi.
Good.
I have it.
Alright. Cool, so who's your favorite character?
That character is not in the first season. All my favorite characters are Francesca, Godot, like the prosecutor from Dual Destinies.
Okay, Dawson, who's your favorite character?
Can I say none? Sorry. I don't think I should be watching Phoenix Wright.
I actually don't think you should be watching Phoenix Wright.
I really don't think I should.
Honestly,
it's not the best.
Honestly, I was looking for my DS because I was this close to just giving you my DS and just being like, I have all the games right here. Because I mulled over it last night.
I think I would enjoy playing Phoenix Wright more than I would enjoy watching it, but I don't think I would like Phoenix Wright that much.
Honestly,
I just don't think it's for me. I know that's a judgment to make before I've actually played.
I feel like the games are good.
That's why
right, but I just don't.
At some point, I'll figure out a way and just try to play those games with you, like we did with Danganronpa, just because they're not exact. They're really interesting in a way that they're not exactly in a way that you're just like, oh, it's just gonna be just harsh court trials and stuff like that. But it's like it's a lot of like. It's just kind of like having, like, trying to figure out putting pieces together and, like, getting stuff, putting pieces together.
Trying to solve a mystery.
Trying to solve a mystery. And it's less of who did it, but how it's the ways and means.
Piecing all that together.
Yeah. And, like, that's why it's, like, there's some really interesting cases where you just go, where you're, like, you think you know what happened, and then it flips over on you.
Just kind of switches it all around. Okay.
And that's what's really enjoyable about it. And that's why I was literally like, do I have my DS here? Because after watching that second episode, I thought about it. Like, I was like, no, yeah, that was pretty solid. And then I came off of it like, no. Like, I gave it some thought, and I thought, because the way that that first section goes is that you do all that stuff. Like, they're actually very accurate to what was going on in the scenario of...
Careful with spoilers here.
He walks in and then sees them on, like, sees her on the ground, and then Maya's there. he talks to her for a little bit to get a general understanding of what's going on. The police rush in. They bring her. They take Maya to the precinct and automatically charge her with the crime. And then he actually starts investigating right there. Yeah. And then it's a lot of stuff of him like looking around the room and trying to figure out, okay, there's this piece of evidence here.
Yeah, which wouldn't really...
It doesn't really work as well. And that's what they were trying to do with when Maya said, hey, can you look for my cell phone? Because that's what happened in the... But that doesn't actually really happen in the game. Because in the game, what happens is she just straight up gives him her cell phone.
Yeah.
And then you hear the conversation as it goes.
Okay.
And even that section where I felt like they were trying to add like this romantic interest thing, which shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Between Maya and Phoenix, with them trying like doing the whole awkward like I'll help defend you stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is again.
Oh, I did not see romance in that.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was just kind of like cute awkwardness.
I actually enjoyed Maya as a character.
I actually enjoyed Maya as a character animated more than I did.
That was like the thing I enjoyed most out of everything we've seen so far. I really hope they do
Edgeworth and that's the thing. That's that section there is
God they do
the dynamic between Maya and Phoenix throughout the game is just really interesting. Of just having them talk and get like, and you see as these characters get to know each other and get more comfortable, as well as you find out like the first game is finding out Phoenix's backstory and learning how he got to this point, and you get small snippets of it as you go along, and like how a lot of like stories go together.
Yeah.
Did you say the Japanese name because we're doing this in alphabetical order?
Yes.
Okay. Just
it's on I'm doing it from my anime list.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would be like, hey, we're the first thing we'd talk about is
and so that's the thing where I'm gonna find my and I'm gonna find a way to
Phoenix Wright.
I'm gonna find a way to play those because honestly,
I'll do it at some point. Just give it a bit of time.
No. Like I said, I don't have it with me right now. It's gonna be like at the earliest next year when I'm just chilling or something and just play some of that. But
because like what I've seen from the anime so far, I'm not super interested.
The one snippet.
I don't think I should be watching this, as we've already said.
Yeah, the one snippet that you said that you enjoyed, I actually, when I thought more about Phoenix Wright, I actually enjoy a lot of his interactions with the side characters and his time talking with them and spending time with a lot of the characters, because it does a really good job of building characters throughout the game, of just even like sequentially building characters and stuff like that, and as you learn who these characters are, how they became to their position and stuff like that.
So verdict, it's generally so far not a very good adaptation.
Yeah,
but we haven't been given that much material.
I mean, we haven't. I'm saying just like preliminary after watching 1 or 2 episodes.
And I
wish they would make it less like a video game.
And I think what it is from a person who's played the video games.
Yeah.
For specifically me and Connor, to the extent of the first 12 episodes, it's a very kind of like you get to see it in motion. You get to see them talking and actually conversing. But from an anime only perspective, I feel that it does a better job at it than Danganronpa.
Yeah.
It's like, Danganronpa was, you saw that game and you played that game and you saw the anime.
Thing, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I would have somewhat enjoyed Danganronpa if I watched it before I played it. Whereas watching Phoenix Wright without having played it, I'm not really.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse.
Like Danganronpa, I can't go back and watch it. But I'm pretty sure if I watched it first, I still would have enjoyed it and then had my mind blown at
Phoenix is pandering to fans more. Danganronpa was pandering more to casuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so from a fan perspective, it's really nice to see it and actually have them conversing, because it's, in the game, it's just a text box and you go...
Yeah, exactly.
But... I mean, I'm going to keep going to see how they're going to adapt a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
just to
I think I'm stopping here.
No, just stop here. I told you, like, hey, wait a couple... No. Stop here. Give it a couple months. I will find my copy of the game and figure out a way to play that. Because...
We can just download it ROM.
Yeah, that's true. Because I've played those games, like, a lot. Like, those are the games I used to play in middle school. Like, I used to play... Like, I replayed all of them. That's why I know all the cases, specifically in the first game, by like hand, of just every single event that went about. Mm-hmm. So coming from that, I'm really interested to see more of your opinion of the game than I am of this anime, because watching the anime, I'm just like, oh, but you messed up this spot where he doesn't do the thing where he looks to all the lawyers. Maya literally goes, here's a contact number. This person's a family friend. Go to this person. Yeah. Ask him to be our lawyer.
You know, I wouldn't mind the actual whole lawyer crossing off list if they did it better. But they took 2 seconds to do that. Mm-hmm. It was literally just, here's a list of lawyers that I checked off. And then, like, you're supposed to get from that, oh, he tried really hard and went around everywhere and was actually doing that. But they didn't do it. Like, if they actually set up more, like, I'm going to find a lawyer for you no matter what, and someone said, hey, it's going to be hard because blah, 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 and then, like, it just implies it with that, instead of showing it for, like, half a second. Like, I felt like they would have made it a lot more...
its impact.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the game, he's already set on defending her. Like, he's already set on defending her, and she's the one who's very, like, uneasy about him defending her. Yeah. And until, like, she literally has no one left. And he actually, like, actively goes, investigates, and tries to figure out stuff himself before he even gets to that point, which I liked from Phoenix's character in that point. Yeah. So, we'll I'm going to keep talking about this, and this might be my slow descent into madness of watching an adaptation of something I love so much.
And being like, no, it's okay, I swear.
No, because Dawson's now off. He's stepped off.
Yeah, and it's just going to be me and you.
Me and you just...
Phoenix and Edgeworth just...
Can I please be Edgeworth and defend this? I'd rather defend it than,
Wait, no, dude, you have it the other way around.
Oh, I'd rather, can I just be Phoenix and defend this?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be fucking Edgeworth. Because
I'm Edgeworth, dude. We already went over this.
Yeah, but I already wasn't defending it for this okay, moving on.
Really quick, your recording is kind of skipping a bit.
No,
it always does that.
It does that. Okay. The way that it works is that it records a couple and then registers it in.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Mine just is clean.
Yeah. That's how Audacity works.
Cool. Alright.
Moving on to Jojo no Kimyo no Boken Diamond wa Kurekanai.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Diamond is Unbreakable. Yes.
Actually, there's no part 4 here.
No? Well, it's part 4, if you didn't know.
It's part 4, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo Part 4. It is the 3rd anime in the series.
Maybe that's why they didn't put part 4.
No, it is the fourth anime in the series.
Motherfucker, because 3 has 2 parts, doesn't it?
3 has 2 parts, motherfucker. 5 is gonna be the confusing one because 4 is gonna have 2 parts, and so 5 is gonna be the 6th anime in the series.
It'll be strange.
Part 3 is the 2nd and 3rd anime of the series.
So, barring the OP and ED, which are just funky but very underwhelming comparative to the previous, not because they're not CG, but just because of visual wise.
General verdict: ED and OP are less good, but they're still okay.
Yeah.
But
also, quick note: I'm watching this without having watched any JoJo before. I read part 1,
which was a terrible.
And despise is a harsh word, but I really didn't like part 1
because
I know that's part 1, and I know most people say it's terrible. Yeah. And it was terrible.
Well, there was one guy I talked about. There was one guy I remember talking to who really enjoyed part 1. Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to.
That's pretty much people who like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's basically that.
Okay.
I actually talked to people about JoJo, Dawson.
Okay.
But yeah, so, in my opinion, I really like the adaptation. I'm really mad because I'm literally half a chapter off.
In your predictions?
Half a chapter off. I'm so mad because... Actually, let me check if I was right on chapter 2. You guys, what's your opinion so far?
I totally am letting JoJo go for all its logical leaps and bounds it's making.
Mm-hmm. Not being critical of that?
No, because it's JoJo. Okay. You don't need to be critical of those things. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You sit back and you enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
It's a bizarre ride, and it's a fun ride. That's what it is. It's supposed to be, it's a fun ride.
It's a road trip anime.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts of it I like, and there are parts of it I don't particularly like, and I'm just kind of swinging back and forth for now.
So what is the parts you didn't like? That's my
Basically, let's see, how can I put it? Some of the characters I really like, and some of the characters I don't like. So far, I mean, obviously this was only the first villain, but as of right now, he's extremely one-dimensional.
Oh, he's very... No,
didn't really like that.
The main villain of part 4 is one of my favorite written like villains. But the thing is, it takes like a while. It'll take a while to get. He doesn't appear. He won't appear until the end of the first season.
Yeah. I really like Koichi.
He's the one character who gets the most character development throughout the entire series.
I like him, and barring what's his face?
Jotaro or Josuke?
Barring Josuke's jacket,
yes,
I like Josuke.
Mm-hmm. His personality,
and I like Jotaro too. Basically, I like those three, but nobody else has appeared in the series. I mean,
because
obviously,
there's only been 4 characters who've been introduced, which is those 3 who are the main characters of this.
All I can say is if you like Jotaro, don't watch part 3 for Jotaro.
Okay.
You will not enjoy Jotaro in part 3.
I don't plan on watching part 3.
Jotaro is the mentor character for this section. He is going to be the mentor character. Josuke as the main, and then Koichi as another main.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other mains that appear later on in the series.
Mainly half the characters that have shown up
those are
extremely one-dimensional, and it kind of turns me off.
But that's the thing where some of those characters, again, they're just one, like Angelo.
I know they're just one-off characters, but it's possible to write decent one-off characters, and he's not.
The thing is, from this point forward, every character will continue to stay within the cast as they keep introducing them, and they'll
really Simpsons.
Yeah, and it will start growing as it goes along. So
it really does feel like The Simpsons sometimes.
But yeah, I agree.
Just be some of the color
I agree that Angelo is a very one-dimensional. Yeah. But as we go along, it's like you'll see more interesting and very well-written characters and stuff like that.
The sad part was this villain here is kind of like every part 3 villain. To a
point. No, that's the thing where it starts off like that, and then
there's like it's all the part 3 villains we don't remember is basically that guy.
But then we'll get along and we'll see more villains as they come about. And that, like, if your issue is mainly with Angelo, it's
not just Angelo. Yeah. It's like any character that isn't the main 3 I mentioned.
Yeah, it's. I'd
say he's close to Hangman, actually.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
He's really close to Hangman.
But we'll get around to more characters because right now we've only been introduced to 4 characters that will be the main, that will be on the cast, and then build the supporting cast after that.
Yeah.
So, but
and he was even hanged at one point. Sorry.
So, from your perspective, you're saying.
I'm saying.
It's aight, dog.
It's aight, dog. Yeah. Honestly, that pretty much sums up my feelings.
Yeah.
So Connor, you took the words right out of my heart and put them on the table.
As a person who just finished rereading part 4, I came off of it like I enjoyed that a lot more on the second run than on the first run because like there's gonna be like there's some really like I really like the powers in this and just the way that a lot of the fights go on is in part 3 a lot of the fights were done by basically 2 men sitting there fighting each other. Like that's the best. The shonen 2 guys face off. Like
in part 3?
In part 3. Ugh. And in part 4, part 4 and future parts is going to be like the fight of like 2 minds against each other, but also in like like you saw at this one where they're running around the house and they're trying to figure out like they're looking at all the traps that Angelo's setting up and they're trying to avoid them, and then they break through the wall, they jump through the wall, and then he set up a trap there, hits them in the face. But then even with the attention to detail, Josuke already planned for this. And ripped up the thing,
swallowed the...
Honestly, any fight I didn't like in part 3 was a fight where Jotaro was the main like protagonist. Like, I really enjoyed, what was it called? Was it No, it was, oh my god. Polnareff and Kakyoin's team up against Hangman and Whole Horse.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because, okay, whenever you don't have Jotaro, it's always, like, way more strategic. Because Jotaro's strategy is literally walk up to the person and beat the shit out of them.
Oh, and the one fight that's great in part 3 is the one where Jotaro couldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, you mean the 2 fights he couldn't do that. There's 2 fights he couldn't... There's 3 fights, but 2 of them were solid, and the 3rd one was okay.
Well, even against Steely Dan, he ended it the same way.
I thought Steely Dan was fantastic. Like, so...
It was just sort of an endurance test.
Yeah. but we're gonna see a lot more fights against mine of like,
which is why part 2 is so much better. Sorry.
Yeah, and we're gonna come back to, you know how there was a lot of mind games going on in part 2. We're gonna come back from this point forward. Eriki starts writing a lot of the battles like that, where it's gonna be them like figuring out ways to defeat these stand users.
And I'm really, really trying to get over the fact that Josuke kind of is a bit. I don't want to say too good. I felt like he was too lucky.
Okay, yeah, actually, let me ask you this. Coming from part 3 to part 4 now, we're watching...
How big are the ass pulls in comparison?
No, I mean... oh, yes, that...
They're about the same.
They're about the same. But, what is your opinion? Now that I've gotten Dawson, who's watching anime only, now I'm coming to you.
Right
who's
now,
actually anime
it's
only.
better than the first half of part 3.
Okay. And it's, in my opinion...
Is that saying much, Connor?
The first part 3 wasn't terrible.
It had its good moments, but even when I watched it, I had to stop. I was getting like binge watching it. I got bored like halfway through, and I had to stop and come back. But yeah, I like it's only gonna get better from here, as you see as Eriki's writing style gets better as well. And so, how about the characters for you, Connor?
Jotaro's way better. And I already said this, but Jotaro is way better than he used to be.
In 2 episodes, Jotaro is better than
because when you hear his thoughts, it's not just Yare Yare fucking Gazame.
It's not 30 minutes of Yare Yare
Yare Yare.
It's actually like him saying like, hey, be careful, don't do this. Do this. Be careful about that. He's a mentor.
I kind of enjoy Old Man Jotaro, to put it like that.
Yeah, Old Man Jotaro is great, but we get
even though he looks like young Jotaro. Like, what the shit?
Yeah, I think I've explained this to you. As Eriki's style starts to change more and more, Jotaro also starts to look different. Yeah. So he starts off like that. The joke is, in part 1, he's a 16-year-old who looks like a 42-year-old on with child support.
Yeah.
And by the time it's part 6, he's a 42-year-old who looks like a 16-year-old with child support.
Yeah, it's weird. Also, it's amazing how they still make his hat impossible when it's white.
It's so great.
It's a white hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I really don't like the way they draw hats.
No, that's only Jotaro's hat.
No, I saw other hats.
No,
the way they draw the brims of the hats.
It's weird. It's weird.
I really don't like.
It
weird. Bugs me.
No, it's weird.
It really bugs me. It shouldn't, but it does.
It's weird, and if I remember correctly, no one else wears a hat in the entirety of the rest of the series.
I thought Joseph's hat was done pretty well.
Yeah, Joseph's hat's great.
His little Indiana Jones hat.
In the entire... I think there's a point where Eriki...
Because Angela was wearing a hat.
Yeah. No, there's a point where Eriki realizes that he's terrible with hats, so he stops drawing hats unless they're cowboy hats.
And he just does crazy hairstyles from then on.
God damn it.
Exactly.
He just goes, I'm really good with hair.
Oh man, there's some weird hairstyles.
What should I make, what's it called, Dio's kid, Giangelo?
Giorno?
Giorno.
Oh, Giorno's hair is like the 3 curls. How do you do that?
Giorno has like cannons in the front of his head,
and it's like three drill kind of things coming out of his hair. And I'm literally sitting there like, how do you humanly do that? And then somebody I saw like just randomly looking.
Can you look it up? I can't touch my phone.
Yeah, I saw a cosplay, and I literally saw it. I was like, that's fantastic. Somebody actually did it. Like,
damn.
But yeah, so again, Koichi is one of my is my personal favorite character from all of JoJo.
I can't wait to see the guy with the little like top hat stand.
Rohan?
Yeah, because I didn't even know he existed, and you're like, he's in part 4. I'm like, really? I've never seen this before.
So I'll just say that right now is that there's 5 main characters: Jotaro, Koichi, Josuke, one other character that we'll see the
idiot guy.
Yeah, the idiot guy. And Rohan. Mm-hmm. Those are the 5 main characters, with everybody else creating this supporting cast. Yeah, the supporting cast. And Rohan is like a fan favorite of like everybody loves Rohan.
You said he's like the Zappelli of the series?
He's kind of like the Zappelli of the series. He even has the checkerboard designs on his stand. Like that's how much his like.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna get really cool, interesting characters, and for you, we're gonna get we're gonna get really cool, interesting mind games that go down. And for me, I get to watch it all adapted and just be happy
that they chose to adapt it.
And just sitting there, just like freaking out every time they just have a little like David Productions as these huge fanboys, just like sitting there like, okay, what
every
can
time
we
you guys
add?
get a good adaptation, I get a little more bitter inside.
I know, right?
I'm just kidding.
Well, because Jojo sells, dude.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see. Now, my predictions for the end of episode 3. So, what the problem here is that I've been a half a chapter off. So, I'm going to have to curve my expectations and figure out how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So, I could be totally wrong about this, but the first half is going to finish off the Angelo arc that they didn't finish.
Okay.
And then the second half is going to start the Nijimura brothers. And possibly end with. I want to say that they're gonna end with the fight, the first of the fights of the Nijimura brothers. Okay. But I don't wanna key myself into that.
I think they're gonna hint at them existing at the end.
No, because the Angelo section's only gonna take another 10 minutes. Like I know how long the rest of the Angelo section will be, and it's only gonna take like 10 minutes. And then it's also the next episode's called Nijimura Brothers Part 1.
Oh. That helps.
But I don't know where they're going to end because there's several ending points. But I think it's either going to end before they fight or after the fight because their fight could end really fast. Their fight is really fast, but I don't know how much David Productions is going to add to it because they've added some cool detail.
Part 1, so.
They could have 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah, they could. Because my initial prediction is this. This is actually going to run for 2 to 3 episodes, depending on how David Productions decide to pace it. And this is a picture of Giorno Giovanni with his canon hair.
It just looks like fire to me.
No, the three holes in his hair. I actually saw somebody do it, and I'm really impressed.
That you somehow managed to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So Nijimura Brothers is going to make up the next 2 to 3 episodes. Then they're gonna do the lock, which should only be 1 episode. I hope it's only 1 episode because I don't know how you could expand it to 2. Then Surface, which I also hope is gonna be 1. And then 2 to 3 episodes dedicated to one of my favorite arcs is Love Deluxe, and then go immediately into Red Hot Chili Pepper, which end out the first core. And
sounds good.
Which makes sense because if you watch the OP, all the characters that appear in all those arcs are in the OP. So, moving on.
Yeah,
from Jojo. The next anime, Giorno has stupid hair, is a Joker game.
Joker. Sorry.
So Connor, is Joker game. We watched 3 animes in one day, and this was the most solid one out of all of them. So.
Well, yeah, because it was like hard realism.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's noir. It's like 1930s noir. With kind of Japanese spy games going on.
Dawson, did you watch this yet?
No, I did not watch Joker.
Spoiler
game.
talk. Okay.
You can spoil. It's fine.
There's a really great moment that I really enjoyed from this is where the main character who looks like a musclehead version of Goto-san.
Yeah, he's. I feel like they're gonna develop him.
Yeah, of course. Because
he is such a fucking cube that's just gonna be chiseled out.
Yeah, the main character starts off as this military personnel, nationalistic guy who literally is saying, "Hey,
I will fight and die for my country.
I will fight and die for my country. All you spies are cowards. You should be out there in the front lines, giving your life out, not hiding.
If something goes wrong, you have to die for your country. Or kill for your country."
And he's very much that, Japanese nationalistic during World War II. And then I feel like they're going to develop him into a guy who starts to understand where these guys are coming from and actually understand, these characters, these 8 sociopathic characters.
I want him to become the biggest of the scumbags.
Oh, man, that would be the best. But so there was a moment that I really enjoyed from it is that he wakes up in the middle of the night and all the guys are gone. So he goes downstairs to go get a drink of water, and they're all sitting in the parlor playing poker.
And okay, these guys, their whole story is they're spies, but they're not military spies.
Yeah.
They're civilians who went through this crazy bullshit test.
Yeah. It's Kingsman. It was literally the Kingsman test, but even harsher. Yeah. Where literally you start off with like 50 classmates.
Is like swim across the ocean.
Yeah, swim across the
damn.
But so
it's not the whole ocean. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, they were swimming across some sea. But basically, so they go up, right? He goes in, and three of them are sitting. I think 3 or 4 of them are sitting at like half of them are sitting at the poker table playing poker, and then the other half are sitting around the room just kind of
chilling out.
Yeah, chilling. Like, you know...
No, I thought they were all playing poker.
No, they weren't all playing poker. There was a guy sitting there reading a book, just smoking a cigarette. There was a guy sitting at the bar, cleaning the glasses. There's another guy just... You know, they're all just sitting there. And he comes down, and they go, hey, do you want to play with us? Sits down, plays poker, loses all of his money.
Yeah.
Because, A, these guys are 8 sociopathic guys who have amazing poker faces.
Yeah.
B, they were totally... cheating.
Yeah, B, they were cheating.
Basically, they weren't playing against him. They were playing against each other.
Yeah.
And they had one person who was like the snitch in the back.
So the way that it worked is that this is they were doing a training exercise.
Yeah.
And basically what it was is that you're in it's a scenario where you're in a room where everybody's a spy.
Yeah.
And you have one guy, you're paired up with one person.
Or the rat.
You're paired up with one person, and that one person is sitting there looking at the other person's cards, like in the background, you know, at the bar doing something, and sending you signals with very, very specific things.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the other players, what they're trying to do is try to figure out who the information and stuff like that, who's on whose side, and then not only that, but try to get people onto their side, or try to figure out their signs and symbols so that they can use their information for their own.
Okay.
And it's a game where they're literally sitting there like they're trying to read everybody's information, and then you don't know if they're telling correct information. You have to figure out what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
And like it's this really interesting concept, what they call the Joker game, which is the basis of the entire show. And then they use that example in real life. In a real life scenario, and then plus in a scenario that they create of their own.
Okay, interesting.
And it has this very like 19s, 20s like noir-ish kind of feel to it, and I feel like you would enjoy it because I know you've been looking for it.
I really like noir detective fiction.
Yeah. And this is not detective fiction, it's more of spy fiction.
Yeah.
So, but it still has the feel to it. But it also is set in Japan.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think the first episode was really solid. Ends with a way where you just kind of feel bad for the main character. Because there was, like, he was put in a situation and it was literally like there was no winning.
Either betray your country or kill yourself.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's all lose-lose.
And there's not like, oh, I'll kill you instead. There's no way out of this. There is no.
Damn.
So that was the cliffhanger. But we suggest that. Cool. Moving on to Kagewani Show.
Second season of
season of Kagewani. And really, the best way to say it is, it's Kagewani. Don't have to say anymore.
I don't think we really need to talk about this
It's the most amazing animation you've ever seen in your life. It's the best. Like,
is beats out, monster thing?
Yeah.
Beats out Trigger, beats out...
KyoAni, beats like, whoever's animating Kagewani is saving anime.
Almost as much as Dean.
Which I think we missed it, but there was the DJ show.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And that's also animated by Dean.
Interesting.
And apparently it's really good.
I was thinking about watching the DJ show, but first I just forgot to.
Yeah, me too.
It's about a dude who DJs.
It's about a dude who DJs. That's all.
Oh, I thought that was an actual name of the show.
No.
I was like, the DJ show? What the fuck? Who's DJ?
So moving on from Kagewani Show, I don't have to explain much about this.
No.
If you're watching Kagewani, you're already watching it. If you're not watching Kagewani, go watch Kagewani.
At least one episode.
I'm kidding.
This is part we're literally in recording, talking about if you should watch shows or not and what our impressions are.
No, if I really wanted to do it against you, it would have been on the Phoenix Wright thing.
No, because we were also talking about that series.
I know, but it was close. It was fucking close. All right, moving on.
Kiznaiver.
Oh, we're on Kiznaiver.
Which talking about saving anime. Trigger is definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Trigger's not doing it as much as Dean, but
I heard a lot of people didn't like this one.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of liking it.
I want to see more.
The farther I'm getting away from the episode, I'm actually liking it more instead of
the
liking
concept
it
is
less.
really interesting. of like this person who doesn't feel pain, probably from something in his past that he doesn't remember. We'll get to that.
Oh, gotta love the millennial lolly.
You know, everyone does. I don't, but everyone does.
I despise her.
Yeah.
No, she's more of like she's not a she's
not a lolly.
She's not a lolly. She's the same age as them. She's in their same class.
That's not necessarily not a lolly.
No, but she's not even like tiny.
Yeah.
She's literally
she looks really young, and she's doing Lolita fashion.
Just because she looks a little younger doesn't automatically make her a lolly.
She does the stupid pigtails and a fucking
that doesn't make her a lolly. Just because to be a lolly, she has to actually be like either young, really young, or purposefully made to be extremely young.
I'm talking more like fashion, not the.
She just
that's not even. She's just an occultist. That's what it is. She's an occultist.
Basically, she's the character that acts extremely immature. There's a difference between that and a lolly. A lolly, straight up is immature.
But when I saw her character design, it made... right.
No, she's an occultist. That's what it is. Like, it's because she believes in the occult and all this stuff.
It was before I even met her that I didn't like her. Like, just looking at her design.
I know. She goes against everything you stand for.
But there's 6 other great character designs that are still solid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate her character.
There's that guy who basically looks like Kamina, so who's basically modern version Kamina.
I like him though. I didn't like Kamina, and I like this guy. That's partially because he looks like this guy from Air Gear, who's really cool.
We'll get to that,
which we'll get to. But okay, basically, I really like the animation in this, and I like it a lot more than anything else Trigger's done.
Yeah, no,
I'm putting that out there right now.
The animation
it's much smoother than anything else they've done, and it's much more serious.
Yeah.
Which I actually really like.
Because the writer is not one of the trigger writers. It's Mayoiga, which we're all...
Well, even the camera angles and the shots in this, they do a lot more close-up face shots. Which, I mean, obviously, that's been done a lot.
I'm totally down for this reality
scenarios.
where Trigger starts doing more serious anime.
I feel like main character is exactly the kind of character you like.
I really like passive characters, and I really like lazy characters. So yes.
And it's a combination of both.
And he's a bit of a combination of both.
Yeah. I love the part where he just gets thrown down the stairs.
Yeah, that part was pretty good. I do like the main character. I find him interesting.
Yeah, I on my head, I went, Dawson's going to like this main character, and Connor's going to hate this character.
I mean, he doesn't...
I just thought it was obvious when he got pushed down the stairs. I saw it coming a mile away.
I mean, I saw that
we all saw
too,
it
but I still liked it.
Yeah.
Just because something is predictable doesn't mean it's bad.
I know, but it almost seemed like they wanted to surprise us with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I don't think... But I'm really interested in what they're going to be doing with this.
It was a gasp moment.
I think this is...
I mean, no, I thought it was... They backed up against the stairs, and she's like, all right, raise your hands. And at that moment, I'm pretty sure anyone could have figured out that she's about to push him.
But I figured it out way before the hands part.
No, we all figured that out.
I know.
But so...
I was also yelling it out loud. I was like, she's got to push you down the stairs.
So, I'm really interested in what they're going to do with this. I'm really interested in what she's going to write. I'm really interested in this concept of, connecting 7 people, or...
Through pain. Honestly, part of the reason
already did it.
I'm really...
Sorry.
Well, I'm really excited for this because Kokoro Connect, which I'm rather fond of, doesn't directly do the thing where it's everyone's connected through pain. But it's a group of 5 or 6 kids who basically this omniscient figure is just imposing all sorts of weird rules and laws, supernatural laws on them in order to just straight up fuck with them.
Yeah.
And it's about them working through that together and becoming closer because of it, which I really enjoy.
Which this anime is seeming like it will be going
which
towards.
It seems like it's going to be doing, which
in my head, awesome. Sorry, I started laughing. I'm like, if they're going to be feeling the other person's physical pain or something like that, what happens if one of them has sex?
I think it's only pain. I think it's only
it's only pain.
That's exactly what I was saying. You thought exactly what I was thinking.
I don't think this anime is going to do that.
No.
Just first time sort of stuff. I mean, again,
that would feel like they need to go to the doctor, probably.
It'd be a strange feeling.
All I'm saying is, okay, if a character is about to die or they are being killed, do you think the others will die out of pain?
That's the whole concept that I'm thinking.
That's what I'm not sure.
Because
I'm not sure if they get... Actually...
No, because the thing is...
No, here's the thing. They share... because they feel each other's pain, they take less physical damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is shown by... That's how the main character survives being pushed down the stairs.
Because...
They said he would have died from that, and because he got connected to the network and spread the pain and the damage out through the network, that's why he lived.
It's going a bit more fantasy than science at this point, then.
I don't think it was ever supposed to be super sciencey.
But it was a lot more grounded when it was just, if one person gets hurt, the pain is sent to you as well.
I guess.
So they're actually... So if a person...
I mean, maybe it kept him from dying of shock.
Yeah, because that's the thing where there's some people who die not of, like, wounds and stuff like that. It's out of pure shock.
Like, it not only dampened his, but it also raised theirs.
So
granted, I don't think he felt shock anyway, so maybe that doesn't make sense, but...
Yeah, what the hell?
Based on his character, I'm pretty sure it just
pain...
distributes damage to or something.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Okay,
we'll probably
also,
figure out in an episode or two.
No, since this is made to be like the perfect human system is what they're testing out, I doubt it'll actually kill them if one person dies.
Yeah,
I don't think it would either.
Which is kind of weird that like a person's injuries are shared through people, and yet if one person dies, the other people don't die.
I actually wouldn't be that surprised if they made it so that... I take back what I said. I'm pretty... I would not be surprised at all if one person died, everyone died.
Yeah, it's not gonna surprise me.
That'd be, like, horrible. Why would you want that on a society? That would instantly collapse. Like, if one person dies of, like, old age or falling down a well or some
maybe
shit.
There's a... I don't know.
Maybe there's a failsafe where if one person dies, it cuts you off.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But you do feel, like, immense pain, is what I'm guessing they're going to do.
Speculation at this point.
So, honestly, I'm really interested. I'm really excited to see. I want to see the second episode more.
I really do, too. I'm just slowly getting more excited for this, which is cool.
Yeah, so
it's nice.
Again, it's going to be we hit a point, which is going to be 3 or 4, and I'm going to go, Dawson, cut yourself off. We'll tell you at the end.
Yeah, probably. Some things I might be able to watch. Usually what happens, if I'm not watching it with you guys... I'll drop off for a few episodes and then watch a couple in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as I can build hype like that, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah. We will.
Next one is Koutetrujou no Kabaneri, aka Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, which is animated by the people who did Attack on Titan and is a zombie Attack on Titan.
And is basically
with steam. Yeah.
It's a steampunk Attack on Titan.
Do we have to talk about this for a long time?
No.
Cool.
I don't like one of the characters.
Well, we're going to talk about it exactly how long we choose to. She doesn't fit in the world.
Okay.
That's the main issue. That's my main issue.
The biggest issue I think we all have, and hopefully other people have too, is that one character who is a small girl in a short yukata just doesn't feel like she belongs in the series in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly... I didn't see it at first. I was like, oh, this is just Connor complaining about a lolly-ish type of character.
Who used it as a fucking kendama to fight zombies.
And I was like, you know what?
She never used it to fight zombies.
Okay, fine, but she uses it as a weapon.
She never used it as a weapon.
She did. There was, like, the person who...
No, she used it just to hit a person with it, just because they hurt. She didn't use it as a straight-up killing tool.
That's not what a weapon necessarily is.
No, she never used it to fight, and she never used it for self-defense. She just used it to hit a guy, because... She hit a guy. I still think it was dumb.
She did it like all ninja stylish.
I still think it was dumb that she did it all ninja stylish, and that she was just like carrying it around.
Lack of a better term, because I can't use sorry, because I can't say she used it as a weapon.
She didn't use it as a weapon.
She used it to batter someone with.
I still think it was dumb, but she didn't use it as a weapon, which I at least will cede as a point. Like, at least she didn't fight with
My question is, where the hell are any of these people gonna go?
I don't know. Actually, the one thing I am
They're all gonna die, who cares?
One thing I am interested about in this show is what happens to the main character, because he looked pretty fucked at the end of there.
Well, no, he healed himself.
Oh, yeah.
That was weird.
I want to know how he did that.
Was a little fast.
It was strange. I kind of want to know their reason.
I feel like he's been through it before. Like, that's the whole thing. I feel like he's been through this before.
But I felt like he should have had to keep the thing on his neck for a lot longer than he did.
I'm just waiting for an explanation before I make judgments on that. Because they haven't explained it at all. And I think they will.
Okay.
But
that's my personal philosophy.
Honestly, I would be.
Why doesn't he just put the crystal on his neck if he can't ever have it go to his head?
How do we actually know it's the crystal that?
It went into the crystal.
It was really
went into
implied.
the crystal.
Okay.
We'll again. Let's wait and see an explanation.
Maybe he keeps it on his hand so he can like palm strike people and take out the stuff.
Who knows? We'll have to see. Maybe I'm gonna end this. This is the line of questioning. But I'm really interested to see what I'm really interested in the actual concept. Dude, those guys know how to animate things. Whoever did that, they know how to animate.
Pretty solid.
And I agree with people that he's pretty much Aaron right now. But
he's more interesting.
Aaron gets a lot worse as the series goes. So if this guy stays the same, we'll be okay.
I'm a manga reader. I'm almost certain there was a point where the writer just goes, "Man, not a lot of people are liking Aaron. I'm just gonna stop writing Aaron's character for like 30 chapters."
He was good till the Annie bit, in my opinion. Like literally,
he gets better, and then the writer decides to just drop him off for a while. And then they focuses on more on the other cast members, and it's so much better. So,
yeah, but the other cast members are shit. Sorry.
No,
not Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
And this.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't know. Besides the lolly girl, I don't see any.
Oh, there's the generic good girl who's a princess, and her dad's an asshole.
Oh, the Ojo-sama.
Yeah, she's pretty generic.
But yeah, so I'm really interested. This is gonna be one that Dawson will just drop off, and then we'll tell him at the end of the season if it was good or not.
Yeah.
I don't know what the source material for this is.
There were so many times when we were just singing the Attack on Titan theme too.
Currently airing.
Pretty sure it's an original.
Adaptation. It was adapted from something.
Oh.
It was adapted from a manga.
Manga? Interesting. Okay.
That's actually rated an 8.57. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
But only 117 people are reading it, so we'll see. Moving on to the one that we watched just a couple hours ago. Kuromukuro. Wow.
Kuromukuro.
Is this PA Works' Strange Mech anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a strange mecha anime.
Yeah. I described it that way for...
You did not know how to feel about this at the end.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Because they didn't tell us anything really yet.
It was very strange. Like, it started off on that mech fight, and I was like, oh god. I'm not down for this.
Honestly, yes. I agree where I was like, this is a no-context mech fight with no stakes. Nothing.
It was just strange. I mean, it was supposed to look cool, but I was like, eh.
But they were setting up so much other shit that had nothing to do with the mech fight. Like, they were setting up, there's a career fair center. And I feel like...
before that, what we're talking about is right as the show fires up, there's a mech fight that they show. It's just two guys fighting with swords. Or two mechs fighting with swords. I think Dawson you were watching Connor play Pokemon, and that's why you didn't see it.
Was that just to look cool?
Yeah. Yes. It was literally just to look cool.
it looked that cool.
Yeah. Which, if you remove that, this episode immediately gets like a 0.5 better.
Anyways, I felt like they were doing a lot for like trying to get her character developed. But
I thought she was actually decently developed.
I couldn't really tell what she was about, honestly. Like,
really?
I know there's high expectations because of her mom.
Yeah.
And she has a missing dad.
That she really doesn't feel like she can live up to, nor that she wants to live up to. She has a desire to go off to Mars, which probably stems from the fact that she wants to get away from all these expectations. Like, if she was to go to Mars, she would be distant from all this.
That feels like a reach, but...
I'm speculating. It's only been one episode. But, yeah, I liked all of it, but the mech fights...
I felt like it was two different animes.
I felt that when he fought the mech with the sword, I went, yeah, I kind of dig this. And then I kind of dug just the fan sub of the guy really, like, getting really mad and saying really, really sexist things.
Yeah. Sexual as fuck.
It was weird.
They took they took millions of my loads or something like that and then died. It was so weird. What was I going to say? I really did actually enjoy how... I feel like they're going to be doing demons and robots as sort of a there's sort of a connection there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the kind of thing we all came the consensus we all came to is this is probably about sort of like an ancient kind of people who fought these robots before, but they were kind of seen as demons. Mm-hmm. And and now the demons, quote unquote, and this guy were sent forward in time, or like
in stasis.
Yeah, they were kind of in stasis, and now they're just waking up, and the fight's kind of resuming.
Yeah. The animation on this is a little strange, because it's like really I feel the PA Works style like really heavily, but it's almost slightly exaggerated. Like there's that way that the way that PA Works does like smug faces or whatever, or just normal faces.
What does PA Works make?
They did Nagino and
Haruka
they
and
did
Chika
Haruka and Chika. They did Charlotte.
Oh, okay, so they're the other studio.
Triggered Andrew here. Yeah, I'm not super fond of PA Works in general.
They do good things though.
Yeah, sometimes they can do a good job, but they have like their smiles are kind of extremely small and like sideways. And I swear to God, these were like straight up and down sometimes. It was really weird, and their faces are slightly poofier. Like, PA Works does kind of big poofy faces to begin with, and these are like even puffier than normal. It was a little weird. But I still, also, the character design for the mom character, I've seen thousands of times.
Yeah, of course.
Like, there's a lot of character designs that are like similar to other characters you've seen, but this is one of the ones that's like exactly the same in every like other anime.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
If it goes anywhere interesting, I'll tell you, Dawson.
Yeah, the one thing that I am most interested in regarding this show is it seems like the main girl's gonna be a mech pilot at some point, which is kind of cool to me to have a main character that's a mech pilot that's a girl. Because the only other times I've seen that person, I mean, I don't watch a lot of mech anime, but the only other times I've seen that is Gunbuster and Diebuster, which are kind of outliers, it seems like. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
And Heavy Object that we watched like 5 episodes of.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they're piloting objects instead of mechs, so it's a little different.
Also, I mean, I don't really see her as the main character, but...
That's the other thing. She doesn't really feel like the main character. I mean, she's the main mech pilot of the show, it seems like.
But the two Doofus brothers
are
kind of...
They're the main characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a
the Road to El Dorado guys.
Yeah.
It looks like this is the main character. And
she looks like she's the main character.
And she looks like she's going to pilot a mech.
Which I think is
one day
cool.
She'll get
also
into the mech.
Crazy naked guy love interest, yeah.
Oh, that was really interesting. He just comes out and he's like, Princess.
He needs to man.
I'm naked and I'm a fight.
I hope he's always naked.
Just never gets clothes.
He's gonna get a kimono. He's gonna get that kimono, like the samurai kimono.
Yeah. But
is it called kimonos when samurais wear it?
Yeah, of course.
Is it always a kimono? I think it is always a kimono.
I think it's called, yeah.
Because when the guys wear it, it's a kimono.
Yeah. And when the girl wears it, it's still a kimono.
Yeah, it just looks different. It's styled differently.
Yeah, it's a male kimono.
It's formal wear.
Yeah. Moving on to Mayoiga, or the translation, or whatever they gave it. The name is, it's The Lost Village.
Wheels on the Bus.
Wheels on the bus go round and round.
And it's actually a song about a hippopotamus. I like
this is a show I still don't know what it is about.
Fuck it, I know, man.
I
saw 2 episodes.
No, it's in a different way of we still don't know what it's about, but we're interested.
I'm actually really interested in this show.
Send a bunch of Redditors and sociopaths to the woods and see what happens.
And I feel like they're gonna start dying one by one, starting with Rapist-kun.
Oh yeah. Which happened in the last episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't rape her. I would hope that doesn't happen.
That'd be really.
He's gonna get close to. He's gonna get close.
Incredibly cliche.
He's gonna get close to it, and then someone kills him.
I want him to like subvert expectations, and they just find him on like a little candlelit dinner in the woods.
That would be great. That would be really great.
I don't think they're gonna do.
I don't think they're gonna do
that.
No,
it's gonna be that, except she's gonna be feasting on his organs.
Yeah.
Being just like crazy.
So I'm really interested on where this is going and what this is about, because it's an original title.
Yeah, original title. This is a crowdfunded one.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was crowdfunded.
Sure.
And we still don't know what's about.
We still don't know what's going on. Well, because of that, we don't know like much of anything about it.
And that's what makes it interesting. Of like,
yeah,
what we don't know what it is about.
I really like the large cast. I'm not always one for a large cast. Like, there's a lot of shows where I feel like it doesn't really work.
Right now, we don't know all. Like, the issue is that we've really not gotten to know all the characters, because there's obviously like half those people are gonna, if they're gonna kill off characters, they're gonna kill off like half the cast immediately.
Before you get to
and those are the characers that we just don't care about.
Yeah.
Because there's the ones that you already look at and you're like, these guys.
Executioner Girl
are the main ones.
These are the main girls. You see Lion-san. You see the girl with the BB guns. You see the guy who's the survivalist, and like those are very notable. You see the guy who's
the guy with the bags under his eye may or may not die.
The 2 girls that were like going after the main character.
The a-hole who's trying to lead
the idol girl. Or the model, sorry.
Yeah, so
the best friend guy.
Yeah, the best friend guy.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is I'm not even though we don't know a lot about the extended cast, I'm not super... I don't know. I don't feel like I need to know a ton more about them, which I do in some shows, so I don't know why this show's doing that to me. But I think it's because of like the sort of horror-y mystery drama vibes that it's giving off.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out if it is going to turn into like horrible murders or not.
We're trying to see if it's going to be turned into A, Lord of Flies, B,
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, without the zombies.
Yeah.
C, C, what was it? You said this one.
I did?
C is... Okay, not Danganronpa. It's... God damn it. It's gonna turn... Until Dawn.
Oh, Until Dawn, yeah.
Or,
honestly, I think part of the reason I am so excited for it is because it feels like
it's
Until Dawn with more characters.
Or D, none of the above, and they just end up just making a village.
Yeah,
It could just turn into a bunch of characters making a village and just
Log Horizon.
Log Horizon. Let's build a
village. Let's build a town. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I'll be down with any of those. This show, and Kiznaiver are the ones that I thought I was just going to be okay on, and
but
I'm
they have
actually
so interesting
really
content.
excited for it right now.
And
I really doubt it's going to be the last one. MC's fucking crazy.
Yeah, everybody's slightly off in this show, which is also really fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're all just kind of...
Because they're all
so
people...
weird.
No, I'm waiting for Higurashi. That's what
Higurashi
5 is Higurashi.
There are so many ways this could go, and I think all of them are interesting.
Fast forward 12 weeks from now, and we're just like, fuck this show. Like, what are we doing?
Terrible.
Honestly, that probably will happen. But as of right now,
we can hedge our expectations. Yeah, and kind of get excited for it.
It's fun to be excited for it.
It's good to be optimistic. And if not, I already know that Jojo's going to just make me happy, so it's fine.
Yeah, I have My Hero, and I have...
Yeah, I have My Hero, Conquer Revolution, and Jojo to make me happy if anything happens this season.
Yeah, I have Sakamoto.
Oh my god,
Can we talk about that yet?
No, that's literally the next, like, the second one after this.
Okay.
So the next one is ReZero, which...
ReZero.
We watched 2 episodes of it. It's pretty good.
Wait.
2 or 1 in the long episode.
Yeah, 1 was a special.
ReZero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Sekatsu.
Good for you. Anyways.
Yeah.
Or as no one calls it.
The English is ReZero, starting life in another world. Oh, that is totally misleading.
I thought it was starting life in another world at 0.
It's Fantasy Steins Gate.
Yes.
It's
Fantasy Steins Gate. It's Fantasy Steins Gate.
I'll take your word.
No, it's Fantasy Steins Gate combined with you know who the main character was halfway through the episode? I was like, that's Kiri.
From
Yuki Hoarder. The main character is Kiri.
Oh.
Also, this is...
Yeah, he is.
The main character is Kiri.
Except he can't set a save point as of yet.
Yeah, but that's exactly why I think me and you are digging this, is because Kiri is like our favorite character from Yuki Hoarder.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this thing's kind of been done before, but it's usually like in video game kind of settings. It's like you're trapped in a video game and you can start
over and keep going. Yeah.
And usually video games are the only things that really play on this concept.
And the thing is, me hearing like how sadistic the writer is, I'm really interested to see like just how harsh he's gonna be on this main character.
I don't feel like that's necessarily a good thing, but yeah.
I don't know. Right now, the main parts I like about this show are the premise and the main character. And the things I don't like about this show are the silver-haired girl and the CG background characters.
Which...
I don't care about the CG background characters.
The CG background characters...
It's slowly bugging me less and less.
Yeah.
But it's still, I find it kind of off-putting sometimes.
Yeah, which in like Steins Gate, they never had CG characters, so it's like... No, it's same studio, so that's why I'm just comparing.
Oh, okay.
Same studio.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it is. Also, the OP is great.
It's Steins Gate.
Oh yeah, the OP is pretty cool.
Well, at the beginning and the end
is great. It's great. It's
they pull a me.
It's I was about to say it's doing a me.
You can just loop it.
But yeah, just going down and then coming back up. It's a really good touch. And I saw that beforehand. And I literally looked at you guys. I was like, I really like this opening. And then the opening says like, I don't get it, guy. I don't get. And you get to yeah.
It's like it was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
So I
liked it.
Yeah, I said I liked it right from the beginning. Yeah. As soon as we saw that opening shot,
that was other Connie.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, and I really like that the eerie villain that's there, where it's literally like This person
she's creepy AF.
This person has killed you multiple times. You know this person has killed you multiple times.
And she knows something is off about you.
Like, yeah, she can smell it.
She can smell it. And she's a really good swordsman. I really am, like...
Yeah, she's pretty terrifying.
The thing is, that's why I'm really excited about this season compared to last season. Where we're coming from last season, where there was, like, a handful of stuff that we enjoyed. And some of them were just leftover. One was specifically leftover from the previous time.
Yeah.
But this one has so many interesting concepts just right off the bat.
It's got stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the board, which is fun.
Like, even, like, some of the ones that we were not even, like, thinking, like, oh, this is, like... Like, we were kind of hedging our bets, like, oh, this won't be that interesting. Like, the Mecha by PA Works, we ended up being kind of, like, really interested in what was going on.
What's the one that I was trying to say was gonna be the disappointing one for the season?
Oh, Twin Exorcist, we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, before I continue, so we'll get to that, I'll continue in a minute, but... so I'm really interested to see what ReZero does, especially since it's from the studio who did my favorite anime.
Yeah.
So I want to, like, and with a similar concept of it, I want to see how they animate it, I want to see how they direct it, and I want to see where this story kind of goes.
Yeah, I am tentatively interested in this show. It's got stuff it's one of the ones where it's got stuff, some shows are just, like, average all over. Mm-hmm. This one's got stuff that I am really interested, but it also has stuff that kind of turns me off. We'll see.
There's the CG is never going to go away.
I'm not big on either of the two girls that have been introduced.
Yeah. That's part of my problem. Like,
I actually like the silver-haired girl better than the thief on it, though.
Dude.
I like the thief better.
I don't know about that.
The thief is so
I don't
generic
like the thief.
I don't trust anyone.
Thief a little. But the silver-haired girl with her just bland
she has some mystery behind her, though. Why did she give him that name?
I don't know. I mean, that'll be interesting, but, like, her backstory might be interesting, but her as a character...
Well, we don't know. That was literally the initial meeting. We've not really gotten her since then.
It could be completely different.
We've not gotten
I feel like she's a lot deeper than, like, or at least they're hinting that she's a lot deeper than when we first met her.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just scared she's gonna be misunderstood witch character who's actually really nice, and everybody hates because of this one thing she did, but it was actually a nice thing. And
but they would have had someone hate on her already.
She has her shit stolen. Somebody's obviously after her.
Yeah, but that's a thief, and like the person who hired them is like a murderous bitch.
Yeah.
Who's a middleman for another person.
Yeah, who's shady as fuck. So it's like an evil kind of seeming group. Like,
well, again, we'll have to see what happens. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking right now.
Yeah, and she was straight up offended when he called her by name.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So,
like, that's the only interesting thing about her this entire show so far, though. Can you think of any others? Because I can't.
I felt like she was an interesting character when she wasn't around. Because it was actually interesting what she was doing in the background.
That's kind of my point.
Like...
And that's the little droplets of, like, maybe we have an interesting character here, we just don't know it yet.
I felt like she was two different people, honestly, in some cases. Like, I don't know.
Maybe because the author didn't realize what the character they were writing.
No, I mean, two different people as in, like, her not recognizing the name... I feel like maybe... I don't know. That I'm super stretching on that.
We'll
but
see.
That was, for some reason, the feeling I got was like, this is a different person. I don't know.
Well, moving on.
Also, the cat wasn't around.
So I'm good. Before we get to our Lord and Savior, Sakamoto.
Oh, yes.
We're going to talk about two other animes that me and Connor sat through, and we're just going to gloss over them because I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to touch them, but I have to at least mention that we watched them. And the first one is 100. And it's our resident light novel, battle eki, harem, romance, school, mecha, whatever. That at least airs every season. And...
Don't watch it.
Moving on.
I decided I don't need more of these, and I'm not even going to watch the first episode.
And this one doesn't even have an interesting premise.
It it's everything you've seen before, but then you just take out like
interesting.
Yeah, any bit that you wouldn't have seen, like
for example, how does the fight always start with between him and the character? It's either A, he walks in on the character naked, or B, he accidentally falls onto her, gropes her ribs, something like that. But this one, nothing. It's not even there. He's just like, he doesn't want to defend these two girls, but he's
volunteered by other people to fight.
Yeah.
And it, like...
This is the most...
Nothing, like, really bad happens to this MC. No one sees him as a bad character. It's just, oh, look at this really smart, cool guy that's coming in. Oh, there's these girls waiting for me. Oh, I want to avoid them, so I'm just kind of going to walk by and be mellow. It's like, oh, now that you avoided them, there's consequences for your action. They're going to get in trouble. But oh, it's okay. I'll be a good guy and defend them. But I won't really defend them, and I'll get volunteered to a fight because I don't want to be seen as hot-headed. Anything that would make him like a less than perfect character just isn't there.
It's the safest thing I've ever seen. It's like you literally go, what's the safest options from this genre, and then you just put it into an anime, and you don't change anything about it. You just let it go.
The one thing that I found interesting was actually infuriating for me, which is he walks in on his quote-unquote like boy roommate, who's actually a girl.
I think.
She squeals and throws a fucking like
luggage at
him, and then he still doesn't realize she's a fucking girl.
So he's super oblivious.
Just by walking on her, like changing, basically. It was
Connor,
and the color palette was gray, black, and white. So, and not in like an artsy way. It was in these are the colors we're actually choosing way.
Gray, black, and white.
Yeah.
With a little bit other colors.
So we're not going to keep talking about 100. We're not going to look at 100. And I know you're going to joke about it for the next 12 weeks of like, let's watch 100. And I'm going to kill you, Connor.
That wasn't good.
The next anime that we watched is on my list because I was actually interested about this. But so we're going to skip that. But the third one was Endride.
I didn't mind it.
Connor did not mind it. I did not care for it. And Dawson told me straight up, he just goes, I described the whole premise to Dawson. And Dawson looks at me and he just goes, isn't that just Comet Lucifer? And I went, that's probably why I'm incredibly turned off from this show.
This was nothing like Comet Lucifer. The main character's dragged into a fucking fantasy world.
The main character is dragged into a fantasy mecha setting.
It's not. That comes to him. He is dragged from his world into a world that already exists and has like a predetermined like political system that's like Arzon Seki basically, right? And the only difference is everyone has this magical bullshit that comes out of their chest and there's weapons.
Oh god damn it! Did they do that?
Yeah.
Blazer. Sorry, Absolute Duo. They do that.
Should have said Absolute Duo.
We were close.
I know.
We were really close.
I thought you were making a Fate reference, honestly.
No. They have these things called blazes, and they manifest out of their souls, and it's a weapon. And the main character is an irregular who gets a shield instead of a
sword.
Instead of a sword, but he can still attack because he's really. Is this why you don't like
Shield Knight?
Huh?
Is this why you don't like Shield Knight?
I like Shield Knight.
Okay.
I do like Shield Knight. I don't like this. And this guy, because he has the shield, but he's like really good at martial arts or something, and he just has this really powerful punch where he can just straight up punch.
We should really stop talking about Absolute Duo.
We should. There's no reason to talk about.
Anyways,
this
Endride,
it's a lot more of like a bromance going on with these characters. It's weird knowing like all this build up on the first episode was literally the main character's home life.
Yeah, I felt so bad for his mom. I feel so bad for his mom.
His dad's a shit.
His dad just works a lot.
Yeah.
And then his mom is literally like, it literally just takes care of the son, and that's all.
Yeah.
And then now he's gone, so literally she's alone.
I feel like this and Divine Gate should have swapped animations, because this does not have good animation.
I feel that if it had better animation, I would be digging this more.
Exactly. Like
if it had the Divine Gate treatment, but like you just switch the scripts.
Yeah.
I'd actually probably be more interested in this, but the fact that
it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not well drawn or well animated.
It's not appealing, and as for the first time
it's
I've
like
ever...
the first season of Digimon,
For the first time I've ever said this.
Just, like, differently drawn.
Is that I'm not interested because of the aesthetic. It's so not aesthetically pleasing to my eye that I'm just not going to continue watching this.
Like, yeah, one of the best things I can describe it as, it's like Digimon and Mega Man and all that kind of stuff where it's just like, oh, it's this average kid in an average world. And, like, it's the Mega Man bit of, oh, my dad's a scientist and he works at this place and blah, 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 and I go here... And because my dad's a scientist, I sort of get a little bit of this special treatment that kind of, like, moves me forward. And then it's the whole Digimon thing is, oh, I'm sent to this world, and I'm going to become, like, this special person who... I don't know. It's very much an old kids anime.
Yeah,
and
it seems like it seems like it's like a cartoon that we would have watched growing up instead of an anime that we would be seriously watching right now.
And if it had better animation, I'm sure a lot of kids would like it.
Yes.
But it doesn't have very good.
So now moving on to our Lord and Savior, Sakamoto.
Oh, you skipped one.
No, I'm going to get to that. Because it's still on my list.
Okay.
So this is another one of the ones that I read the manga for, and I was really excited that this was getting adapted, but I was also kind of nervous because I found it pretty funny, but it's not like the funniest thing I've read. But
the sound design made this so much.
It really did. But basically, we were sitting there, and I was sitting there, and I was thinking, and I'm like, okay, I kind of don't want to watch this right now because I don't think the jokes are going to end up hitting very well, and we're just going to sit here and be like, oh, this is another weird manga Dawson read that doesn't turn out to be very good. But Dean's animating this for one.
Dawson, nothing could turn out worse than the Candy anime.
Dingashi Kashi?
I'm sorry. I know some people like Dinkashi, but I despise Dinkashi.
I liked it in the middle when there were some romance aspects, and then I stopped watching because they removed them again.
I even stopped reading the manga, so, you know.
God, the character was so ADD, and, like, everything was so boring. And
but Sakamoto,
continuing on,
we got so hyped over this. We were laughing.
We watched the opening.
The opening already.
And the opening was just like, oh...
That was
this
perfect.
Is great. Also, the opening scene with them tossing the volleyball back and forth, when I was watching that, I was sitting there thinking, I really like Nichi Bros. Yeah. That's like one of my favorite comedy animes. Mm-hmm. Not Nichijou.
Yeah, I get
Nichi Bros, which the Literary Girl composition we watched was from, with the girl on the bank.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, the guy who directed a lot of the episodes and skits.
I meant like Money Bank.
For that one? No.
He
directed specifically the volleyball scene and possibly more. Because like when I was watching the volleyball scene, I was like, this feels really similar to Nichi Bros right now. And I looked it up later, and the guy who was involved with that is
honestly, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
I was really blown away by how well they did in the show.
The first
part I was like, eh.
The first part we were and then we got to the next part, and we were just like, we got the joke. It was
basically a silent film, the first part, or the second part.
We got, like, immediately we got the joke,
or a short,
and we just rolled with it. Yeah. And we enjoyed every minute that we were watching it.
Yeah. The main skit I didn't like, and this was the same way in the manga, is the fire skit.
Yeah.
Where
it's the introductory one.
Because, like, I liked the first two where they dropped the eraser and where they... Mm-hmm. Honestly, I actually didn't like how they did the
water one?
Because I'm pretty sure what happens in the manga is after they throw the water over, it's a direct cut to him sitting there in the stall with the umbrella instead of... him waiting, like they throw it over, and then the guys open the stall door and see him sitting there with the umbrella, and they're like, "What the hell, man? Why did you have that?" And he's like, "I wasn't expecting a downpour," or whatever he says. But in this, they changed it so that he walks out with the umbrella later. So and I felt like that didn't hit as hard as it did in the manga because that was one of my favorite jokes.
And I really enjoyed this. Connor really enjoyed this. We were pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly surprised to see that scene from manga. I've seen so many times before with the chair removed.
Oh yeah, where the guy removes his chair and he just sits down there perfectly. Yeah.
So I'm excited. This is one of the ones I'm kind of excited for. So we'll.
This is why Dean's saving anime.
Yes, Connor, you enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone in the room enjoyed it. I think there was a couple other people there. When we were watching it,
it was me, you, Silver, and
Connor. It was like there was a transition between the first and last part where it was the whole bird and the tornado thing. I'm like, okay, I didn't expect this. Is this sort of like a one-off joke? And then they get to the B episode. I'm like, oh, so this is how the series is going.
It is just a one-off. It's that same joke over and over and over again.
Yeah, but it's not
used
like
in different ways.
It's not the one-off of like, he's so perfect. Well, it's a one-off in that like it was. I saw him like do the stupidly amazing stunts and stuff. It's like, okay, that's never gonna happen again. That was just probably a joke. But no, it's going to be like that from now continuous. On. Which I'm actually
he fights the bee. So, moving on to the next one. It's Seisen Cerberus Ryuko. I'm not even gonna try.
You butchered that pretty bad.
I didn't like this one.
It was Cerberus. I actually liked this one.
What was it?
It's basically the equivalence is that the main character is basically the Black Knight.
Totally not.
But unlike being an edgelord,
Naruto.
Yeah, unlike being an edgelord, he's kind of fun. And he kind of has a demon inside of him.
He's literally Naruto.
Yeah, he's basically Naruto. I thought it was kind of fun. I'm going to watch the next episode of it. If it really disappoints me, the next episode doesn't make me laugh as much as the first one did, I'm not going to continue it.
There's some Peter Pan dynamic going on.
Yeah, there's a cool Peter Pan dynamic going on.
His master has the stupidest sword in existence.
I don't care. About that.
You know the whole Bloodborne Saw thing?
Yeah.
It's that but a sword. And I'm just like, why?
I really don't like...
The saw blade?
No, I like the saw blade in Bloodborne, but I really don't like certain types of... Like the chainsaw sword.
Yeah.
That Gordon uses. I really think is dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say about this. The next one on the list...
picky on swords and armor.
The next one on the list is Twin Exorcist, which is the one that I was pleasantly surprised about.
As we call it, Divine Gate, but better.
Yeah. And we showed this to a friend of ours, and he came to the same conclusion that we did. It's not mind-blowing, but it's not terrible. It's pleasantly decent.
I'm still sitting here thinking this is going to be the show for this season that we have expectations for.
But we don't.
No, but you at least think it's decent, right?
Okay, that's true.
We think it's going to look nice.
Like, we didn't think Comet Lucifer was going to be the next biggest thing or anything like that. We just thought it was going to be decent. And we think this is going to be decent. And I think this is going to be the one that goes downhill and becomes terrible. But I could be completely wrong on that. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I also don't really feel
I really like the mech anime is going to be the next Comet Lucifer, personally.
Okay, and then that was Twin Exorcist. I mean, I'll keep watching. We'll see what happens. I mean, Dawson will keep attesting. That'll be the blowout of the disappointment of the season.
Yeah.
Connor might be right with the PA Works mecha. That could easily become Comet
Honestly,
Lucifer.
that probably is.
Yeah.
But
moving on though, we have Tanaka-kun wa itsumo keroge, or Tanaka-kun is always listless.
I was rather fond of this one. I didn't like it as much as Flying Witch, for like a chill slice of life sort of thing. But I still enjoyed it. It was nice and it was relaxing.
I'm impressed they got that many jokes out of the concept.
Yeah, let's see.
And there's still like 11 more episodes, right? So yeah.
That was actually quite impressive.
Yeah, and Connor actually was enjoying himself with this. Connor walked into this going, I'm gonna hate this anime. This
was gonna be like a bunch of cute girls talking about stuff, and then like they'll just go, "Hey, what about you, Sleepy-kun?" And it'll just be asleep.
That'd be great, though. That'd be the best anime ever.
If that was a 5-minute short.
Just every episode they talk about some like serious shit or some funny shit, and they're like, "What about you?" And he's just like, "It'd be great."
So yeah, I mean, there's very much little I could talk about this because it's just a slice of life thing, and we can see what happens.
There's not much.
He has character.
Huh?
Like I was surprised. He has a character.
Yeah. He's interesting. I mean, he likes. He's not just like sleepy all the time. Like he's legitimately lazy.
Just lazy
too.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And Dawson gets his like little itch scratched by the whole lazy character.
Lazy main character.
And they don't try to make it cute. They like. I wish he would almost like drool when he sleeps and shit too. But like he like falls out of his chair sometimes, and not like a. There was like a very lightweight. It's like boom.
Yeah, there wasn't like he fell out of the chair. It was he like legitimately just straight up falls out of his chair. It was good.
So yeah, the jokes are interesting. I mean, there's very little talk.
I like the racket joke too, where he like tries to hit the ball in the racket,
Oh,
just like flies out of his head. They're like,
yeah,
you almost killed someone. Let's get you out of here. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little... Like, this is not one where, like, we could talk about all the concepts. I mean, it's a simple concept. It's a slice of life.
It was fun, though.
It's a fun show.
Honestly, I was looking forward to it, and I'm glad I was looking forward to it.
I'm glad I'm put on the list. I'm glad I didn't put Shonen Maid on my list as well.
You.
So
that was, like... just the concept sounds scary.
Andrew and I were considering it before we read the concept.
We looked at
and then we were like, wait a minute, why is this on our list?
And then, like, 3 weeks later, we immediately checked back our entire thought process. And so our last anime that we will be talking about is the other anime that Trigger is animating. That is
we hit the last one?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was fast.
It was actually like 2 hours.
Pretty long, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have to do a weekly anime now because we just did.
Yeah. All that's left is weekly manga and we're done. But
can I leave for that bit?
No. You're not allowed to.
Because you don't want me using my cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah, Connor.
It's literally just going to be me sitting there in torture.
So last... no. Dawson has to talk about Air Gear. So, talk about the stuff we did. Ucha Patrol Luca. This show's weird.
I don't get this show.
I don't get it.
It's just Trigger wants to make... Trigger's really a bit full of themselves, and they're like, let's make a show that just references all our other shows. And it's like, okay, Trigger. This is the normal Trigger team, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Kiznaiver is some other...
It's the B team.
Strangely enough. And it's like...
What is this shit?
It's pretty promising.
Yeah.
Kiznaiver, not Space.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like it that much.
Oh, I'll just keep watching it and just look on the screen and be like, there's weird stuff. I kind of enjoyed the little,
this is the show I give least shits about.
Yeah.
It was strange that she was like... He's straight up the guy who showed the transfer student shows up and starts like murdering this dude, and she's just sitting there like getting all wet watching him.
No, but that was the great metaphor of her going into
she goes into gun form
and then bursts out her gun because she's it's scraping at the bottom of the barrel there.
Yeah.
But besides that, this season is so much more promising than last season.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Like,
got a lot
just
of
on the pilot alone, I was so excited. Because last time, I wasn't. There was just so many, I just went, oh no. Oh no, no, stop, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree. There's a decent amount of stuff I'm pretty excited for this season.
Yeah.
I got some adaptation. I got 3 adaptions I think they're doing a really good job of adapting, which is nice, because usually at least one of them is a terrible adaptation. So
I know, and they're actually
that's pretty cool.
I'm excited. So, moving on, we're finally done with spring talking about, and now we're going to just leave that to the end of our casts every time. Until the end of the season when we wrap it up.
And don't do another single show.
And tomorrow